Hey guys, how's it going? It is currently 6:30 in the morning. We were trying to get out here and beat the heat. We jumped out of bed and brushed our teeth and ran out the door to get to filming. You guys know I'm not a morning person and I am not a heat person. And so it is currently at 6:30 in the morning and it is 74 degrees. The birds love that. So I'm trying to be a little bit quieter just because it's Saturday morning and it's 6:30 in the morning and I don't want to, disrupt the neighbors' sleep. So it's going to be 118 today, so it's going to be a really rough day. So that's why we're trying to get out very, very early in the mornings. We went to bed early last night for us, and we're going to see how this works out. So last week was a really, really good week. We had done a lot of stuff, and we had gotten projects done. We got to hang out with Jamie, and Jalen was up. I don't think you guys saw Jalen at all, but she was up with us. And they're gonna go the entire time because we're so close and talking. Anyways, we did the last week's Q&A is propagating patented plants stealing, tour of a private lavender field, planting begonias, starting the driveway project, finishing up the driveway project, and planting jasmine in the landscape and cutting back lavender. So let's just get into it. The first one was last week's Q&A, and the first one isn't even a question, it's just more of like a statement, but I did some more research and I did some more digging, so I want to share that information with you. So the first one, we are gonna just kind of crop out the name because this isn't like up for a hot topic or anything like that, but I do want to just share what information that we did found. They had said you can propagate patented plants for yourself, not for resale. The plant police won't be coming and knocking on your door for that. Okay, so I had actually called proven winners to talk to them because I was like, they are the ones who most people, when they think about patented plants, they think about proven winners. While Monrovia also has patented plants. So I called them, talked to them about it because this comment, there was like a discussion going on in it, and there was a lot of people who liked that comment. So I called them. They had said, no, please do not do that. They said, no, they probably won't be coming and knocking on your door, but it is still technically illegal to do that. So they said, please don't divide their plants. Please don't propagate their plants. And it's not out of respect for proven winners. It is out of respect for the breeder of that plant. So how it works is proven winners or Monrovia or Ball or any of these companies, they don't spend all of the time doing this. They will buy plants that have been breeded by certain people. So like, say you in your own backyard, you start a seed. One, for example, is the like Florette. She does a lot of breeding of plants, and when she does breeding of plants, that wouldn't happen in like nature without her intervening, unless she can. So then she has to go in and she has to prove that that can only happen with asexual reproduction of certain plants, and that's how you can continue on that line of plants. Well, say she wanted to get that out to the masses, she could sell that plant to Monrovia or Proven Winners or any of these other companies. Then it's a patented plant and it's starting to make its way out to the masses. These larger companies have the resources to get it out to everyone. So it's a respect thing to the breeder who spent years and years and years working on that one plant. And then it's a respect thing to those companies to just let them earn their money back and let the people who put all of this time and energy into it to earn their money. So no, it is still illegal to propagate patented plants, even for personal use, and it is illegal to divide those plants. They did say that they know that like division is really healthy for some plants, and dividing it to keep the plant alive just happens to be that you get another plant, then you just happen to get another plant. And they said that that's kind of a like touchy subject because of that. But no, they're not going to come knock on your door. No, they're not going to come pound the door down. But I won't be promoting that you should be doing that because I just think it's a respectful thing not to do that. That's my hot minute. Now we're going to move on, and that doesn't need to be discussion. It's illegal. The first question on that video was from Darlene, and she had said, "How do you keep mosquitoes away from your fountain?" They don't really go to our fountain, and we don't have any stagnant water. That is the only way that mosquitoes can lay their eggs, is if you have stagnant water. And we have 3 water features on the property. We have 4, and all of them have continuous moving water. So if you have stagnant water, that's where they will lay their eggs, and that's what's going to attract them. So if you have stagnant water, then you will have a problem. But if you are, for some reason, dealing with them, like maybe your fountain gets turned off at nighttime when mosquitoes are laying their eggs or whatever, try mosquito bits. I've heard that that works really, really well. The next question on that video is from Tracy, and she had said, if you do more touring gardens, can you do small and micro gardens? Most channels do mid to large gardens. It would be nice to see what can be done in a little space. Mine is 35 by 20 feet. If I can find small gardens, I would love to. The one that we did at Leslie Bennett's garden, her personal garden, she has a tiny garden, and that was so much fun to see what can be done in such a small space. So if I can find some small gardens that have some like cool features, I'm definitely going to be touring those. And the last question on that video is from Shatsi, and they had said, on your garden tour Janie did, you commented how your basement door opened towards the bird bath area. Have you ever considered relocating the hinges to the other side so it opens towards the wall? You guys, I have said so many times how when something is in place, my brain gets so stuck and focused on, that's it. It's 100%. The walkways we have in our garden, that's it. That's 100% how they have to be. They can't ever go anywhere else. And same thing with that basement door. And after you had left that comment, we were like, why have we never turned the basement door? That's crazy. And then somebody else had commented about using hydraulic struts so they open up. So we went ahead and we ordered some hydraulic struts, and now the basement door, they haven't been installed, they just showed up last night. The basement door is now going to just open up instead of opening to one of the sides. So thank you guys, because we were so stuck on the fact that it had to open that way. Now it's going to be able to just open directly up, which is going to be so nice. The next video that we did was a tour of a private lavender field, and it was really cool. I had never seen a private lavender garden before, so it was really cool to be able to see that. And then Pri came with us. Pri is she's somebody who hangs out and watches videos of Janie and I, and we just kind of really connected with her. And so she's come to both of Janie's events that I have gone to. And then she was like, hey, if you ever want to go to a lavender field, let us know. And we're like, well, yeah, of course. And so that's how that all came to fruition. First question on that video was from Tanya, and she had said, love the shade cloth. Question, couldn't you just use PVC pipe so that it was already flexible rather than bending the metal pipe? So for what we're gonna do, no. But what you could do is you could use like some PVC pipe if you're doing it over each individual garden bed and you just wanted it over one area. What we're trying to do is we're gonna have it go over the entire garden area, and PVC just wouldn't be strong enough. It would start to like sag in the middle, so it wouldn't be worth it. Plus, we went and we picked up the metal that we were gonna use, and we priced out PVC, and it was more expensive to get PVC that was going to be like slightly strong enough, but still probably bend a little bit. It was going to be more expensive to do PVC than it is the metal. So the metal will last forever this way, where the PVC would get like cracked from the sun and it would sag in the sun because we're about to hit 118 degrees. And so that's why we're doing metal, is for that reason. So it's gonna go up probably today. While you guys are watching this video, we're going to be trying to get that done today. Yeah, that's why we're going with that. But if you were doing over each individual bed and you wanted to do like a very high arch where it wouldn't like sag, that would be perfect. We've thought about doing that, but we just have such tall things growing in our beds right now that it wouldn't work. But if you did go the PVC route, I would just get some like rebar and like shove rebar into the ground, and then I would put your PVC over the rebar and then bend it over to another piece of rebar, and then you can like do your shade cloth over it. It would actually be perfect to do that in the winter time, and you could do frost cloth to kind of extend your growing season. So you could totally do that for each individual bed if you wanted to, but we're trying to go over the entire span. So we're gonna do like 10-foot sections. So it'll be 10 feet wide by 20 feet long. So we had to make sure that it was sturdy enough to be able to last. And the last question on that video is from Gracie's Home and Garden. She had said, hi Robbie, what is the best lavender for landscapes to interplant that don't flop? I would probably go with, if you're trying to like tuck it in between plants and things like that, I would go with like an English lavender that stays a little bit smaller, or even the one that we just planted up under the front window called the Princess. That one stays a little bit more compact. I would go with like an English lavender if you're wanting something that just stays more compact and you can just tuck into places. I have terrible luck with the English lavender, or the Princess one is a really, really good one also. The next video that we did was planting begonias and starting the driveway project, and that turned out so good. I'm so happy with how that project turned out, but this was just the beginning of it. We've had to break things into multiple videos because things are taking so long to do in this heat. We can only get out until usually about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. First question on that video is from Tink, and they had said, where did you buy your rocking chairs on your front porch? They are from Walmart. I think that they have been discontinued since we have purchased them, because every time I find them online, it says out of stock, and it has said that for the last year. So I will put the link to them down below. They are Better Homes and Garden. They have been amazing. We've had them for like 4 or 5 years. I got them at the very end of a sale one year, and they were like half off. So I paid for one and got the other one for free, basically. Garden math. The next question on that video is from Michelle, and she had said, how about Surefire white begonias in that spot that gets sun? If I can get my hand on some Surefire begonias, I almost don't care what color. I would love to fill that spot with those. They're so pretty. The Surefire series, after seeing it in other people's videos, has made me want it so bad. So I would love to get my hands on the Surefire begonias. I just think that they are so pretty. We're gonna wait for the train. There's a Surefire rose, and I would love to get that one. That one gets 18 inches wide and 18 inches tall. So, oh, that one gets up to 24 inches tall and then 18 to 24 inches wide. The Surefire begonias are so pretty. The whole entire series is so stunning. So I would love to get my hands on those ones. But it is so late in the season, I doubt I would be able to find anything, and I can't even plant until this fall. So, I mean, I can do a little bit of planting, but things have to be babied, and so things like annuals don't love to be transplanted this time of year. A lot of things don't even want to be planted this time of year because it's too hot. The next question on that video is from Gracie's, and she had said, good morning, Robbie. The begonias you just planted, is that a perennial in your area? It is a perennial. The begonias were the T-Rex First Blush begonia, and they are hardy in zones 9 through 11. So they should come back for me. I don't see that being an issue because where they're at, they are getting a little bit of protection. So we should be able to keep them alive. We're kind of like right on the cusp of it. I'm in a zone 9A. So we do get a little bit cooler here, but they should be totally fine. And the last question on that video is from Betty Boop, and they had said, good morning, how can you stand that type of heat? Do the dogs stay inside? We cannot stand this type of heat. 118 is ridiculous. It's crazy when we're looking at the forecast and I see 108 and I'm like, oh, thank God it cools down. So as of right now, anything that's like at 100 degrees is cool. 108 is much cooler, and we are inside after about 10:30. Brent is ridiculous and he tries to stay out longer than that, and I yell at him. Both of the birds, the chickens and the finch, get frozen treats. So we have things that fill up the freezer that are frozen for them, and the dogs will be inside, and the only time that they go back outside during the day is just to go to the bathroom, or at the very, very end of the day, usually about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night is when it cools down to about 100. So we are not outside after 10:30 because it's too hot for us. And the next video that we did was finishing up the driveway project, and it's so good, and it is so good. It turned out so nice. Even Jalen, when she came over, she's like, when did you do that? I really like that. So it turned out really good. I'm really happy with it. First question on that video was from a friend, and they had said, well, the espalier looks totally spectacular against the white fence. It makes everything so cozy and inviting. Fantastic work, Robbie and Brent. Will you be able to propagate the branches that you cut off? Not on those ones, because those are a patented plant. And plus, I don't need any more. I have 2 more sitting in our side yard, so I don't need any more, but that one is patented, so we won't be able to do that one. And the next question on that video is from Liz Swinney, and she had said, can that jasmine take full hot sun? That jasmine should be able to handle it. It is a tropical plant, so it's probably more used to a little bit more humidity than what we have here, but it should be able to handle it. but our driveway doesn't get the hot afternoon sun. It gets full morning sun, and then it gets sun till probably about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it is shaded. So it gets full sun, and then it does get protection from that hot afternoon sun. We did plant one in the landscape, and that one also only gets morning sun till probably about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it gets protection. So I really have a hard time planting anything in full sun here because our sun, especially in the hot afternoon, is so intense and so harsh that things have to be able to handle like extremes. Like they have to be able to handle full sun in 118 degrees and be able to survive, and not only that, thrive in that condition. And there's very few plants in it. So if you look at one side of our property, it's all the morning sun, and everything over there is like lush and green and beautiful and full and grows so fast and so well. And then you look at the other side of our property and things get sunburnt and things look sad, and it's harsh. So yes, full sun, morning only, probably at least in my zone because it's too intense. The next question on that video is from Jules, and they had said, that's going to be so pretty. I have brick walls, so how will I put the wire up? You can actually get anchors for brick. So you need a masonry drill bit, and you can drill holes into that. You could put little plugs in there, anchors, and then you can put your eyelets into that. So there's ways that you can do it. I've seen many other people do it. They do it into masonry. You just need a masonry drill bit, and then you can put your pieces into that. The next question on that video was from Spooky Scary Skeletons. And they had said, what are you putting in the dug out hole before planting? That is just a fertilizer. We get it locally. It's a locally made fertilizer, so it's not any name brand or anything like that. But you could use something like Fox Farms or the Espoma Biotone or Plant Tone. Both of those, or all three of those, work really well. The last question on that video is from a friend, and they had said, awesome job, Robbie, it looks beautiful. Question, can you do this on a home with siding? Look forward to your giggles every morning. Keep shining, Tammy. Thank you, Tammy. You can do it on a house with siding. You could do it on even a stucco house if you so chose. You're just gonna be drilling holes into the side of your house, which I personally don't have a problem with. We have some trellises that we've put up onto the house, and we have some lights that we've put up onto the house, and we have drilled holes into the side of the house. I don't have a problem with it. Some people have very strong feelings about that. Personally, I think it's your house. Do what you want to do. If you want to drill a couple little holes into it, the holes are teeny tiny, and they would be so incredibly easy to patch if you ever decided to take it down. So yes, you could totally do it onto a house, and especially if you have wood siding, it's not coming out anywhere at all. You don't need to find like the 2x4s to make sure it's secure. You're putting it directly into the wood. If you're gonna put it into a stucco house, that might be a little tricky, so you don't accidentally like rip the stucco off, but I'm sure that there's a way that you could totally do that. And the last video that we did was planting jasmine in the landscape and cutting back lavender down at Grandma's house. And I still have all of that lavender sitting in the car. The car smells really good. We need to get it out though. It's probably very crispy because it sat in the car at 118 degrees. The first question on that video was from Mary, and she had said, hi Robbie, what bag of soil did you use after planting in your garden? That was actually just some mulch. It's a very, very dark mulch. It was super wet, so it looked like I was just dumping soil on the ground, but it was mulch. It was the Garden Time Pathway mulch, and I have loved it. The only issue is that you have to make sure you buy all of the bags that you need at one time. Otherwise, you might get some bags that are red, some bags that are brown, some bags that have larger chunks in them, which is what happened to me this year. I had all three happen. So if you're gonna use that stuff, because it's a company that they don't dye their bags of mulch, so you just kind of get whatever they process, but I like how fine it is. It looks very natural, and it looks very peaceful, and it breaks down very fast. So by the end of the year, it's fully broke down, and it's like actually fed your soil instead of like using like the big chunks of like red or black mulch. It's too intense for me. So this is an undyed pathway mulch, and it's actually really pretty. The next question on that video is from Sandy, and she had said, are you okay with the wildfires? If you don't know, there are so many wildfires around us right now. There are a lot of little fires, and then there is one big one in Oroville. which Oroville is like 45 minutes away from us. And then there's ones in Corning and there's ones in Red Bluff, and those are like 15 to 20 minutes away from us. So we are all good where we're at, but there are definitely a lot of fires right now. This is kind of wildfire season. Luckily, the crews that we have now are very on top of all of these fires, and they're not letting anything get away. So we are all good, we are safe here, and they are getting these fires put out really quickly. But it is a little bit stressful and it is a little bit scary. If you guys don't know, we lived in Chico, California at the time of the Camp Fire, which was the fire that destroyed the town of Paradise, which is where I grew up, where Jalen lives now. And so it's been a little bit stressful for pretty much everyone that's in the area, because it was a very stressful time and it was a very scary time. So we're all good with where we're at with the fires, but I know a lot of my friends and family have been dealing with a little bit of like PTSD and some stressful moments just because of the fires. The next question on that video is from Brenda, and she had said, lucky grandma and lucky grandson to have a grandma. Robbie, I need your help on a different subject than today's video. What did you use on your neighbor's tree that dripped aphid honeydew on your side of the fence? We used Bio Advanced Tree and Shrub. It is not organic. It is some strong stuff, and it worked so good. It is a systemic type of pesticide, so it goes into the tree, gets sucked up the tree, and when the aphids suck on the tree, then the aphids die, and it worked beautifully. You do need to kind of get on it very early in the game. We got on it super late in the year, and a lot of plants did suffer from that. So it is something that, like, if you're going to do it, I would suggest like going and buying it and doing it now. It was really cheap. We went through the entire bottle over the course of the last growing season. But even this year, there has been almost no aphids. We should probably do it one more time. So that is the only time that you're gonna see me deal with something that's not organic in my garden, is like last resort. And this was a last resort option, and I'm just going to stick with it again. We haven't had to put it out this year at all. We should probably do it one time, because I did notice a little tiny bit of honeydew on the willow tree. So we should put it out, because I know that it's coming from the same tree. But we did also limb the neighbor's tree back really hard to the fence line, because I was like, I don't need this stuff dripping over and killing my plants again. So that's what we used, and it worked really, really good. But just beware, it is not organic. We did talk to the neighbors though. She told us we could spray whatever we needed to spray or do whatever we needed to do, because it's actually under her swimming pool, and she didn't know what was going on, but she hated it also. So if it's not on your property, make sure that you are talking to your neighbors about that. The next question on that video is from Cindy, and she had said, do I see a train track? Next time you go back, you'll have to run the train for us. You do see a train track. There's a little train station. It is actually my grandfather's. He loves trains, and I don't know if it works. I might have to get on him about making it work, so that way you guys can see it. They had installed it when they first moved there. I think the tracks are now like covered in mulch, but it was working. So I will have to ask them if it still works now. I don't think that they've ran it in a really long time. Grandma will text me after she sees this video if it works or not. And the last question for the week was from a friend, and they had said, what about her Vigo beds? How are they doing? They look amazing. Her garden beds look way better than mine look. And I'm gonna blame it on the fact that we put all brand new soil in those beds and all just like good nutrients, and she's been fertilizing them. Her sweet potato vines are touching the ground. I should have done an update while I was down there. I'll have to do an update at some point this summer. But her Vigo beds look so good. They are so full. She's popped out some of the ones that had faded because she had bought some like springtime plants. And then you guys know the the livestock tanks that she had her fish in. One of them sprung a leak, and so they had went and they bought 2 new ones, and they just put the new ones where the fish were, and they had put the fish in those ones, and then they took the old ones that were starting to rust, and they used those in their beds in their like actual garden also, and those are full of soil, and those have plants in it also, which are also doing really well. So I will give you guys an update maybe next time I go down there so you guys can actually see what it looks like, because it looks really, really good. All right, you guys, that is gonna be it for this video. We are done. It is, I don't know what time, super early. We have to try to film one more video because otherwise you guys aren't gonna have enough videos this week. And I really have been loving being able to put out the 6 videos a week. There was only 5 this week. So there was only 5 this week. So yeah, it was kind of unplanned. It wasn't fully planned that there was going to be 5. It just was too hot, so we didn't have enough time to film another one and edit another one. So I hope you guys enjoyed the videos for the week. It was a good week. And this week we will be back to 6 videos. And then so Janie and I are actually headed out to an event called Cultivate. It's in Columbus, Ohio, and it is going to be so much fun. So if you're in the area, or if you want to make the drive or the fly, come check it out. Proven Winners will be there. Monrovia will be there. Bootstrap is going to be there. All of the companies will be there and have booths. It's kind of a trade show event. It's a lot of like industry professionals that go there, and then a lot of like YouTube creators and Instagram creators also go to this event. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're in the Ohio area, come check out Cultivate. You can pre-buy tickets on their website at Cultivate, or you can also buy tickets at the door. So if you're in the area, I would love to see you guys. Janie and I will be there. It's going to be a fun time. So that is going to be it for this video, you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.